August 5th, 2025. The fog rolled heavy over the 1800 block of U Street Southeast. Yellow tape cut across the cracked concrete, sealing off a night that wouldn't let go. Somewhere in the shadows, whispers of what happened to Devonta Bazemore still.
Imagine the humid night air in Anacostia, thick with the buzz of cicadas and distant sirens. It's August 5, 2025, just past 11 p.m. on the 1800 block of U Street, Southeast DC. Gunshots crack the darkness. 3, maybe 4, sharp as lightning. Screams follow. Bodies hit the pavement. One man lies still, his life bleeding out into the cracks of the sidewalk. His name, Devonta Bazemore, 29 years old. A son. A brother. A dreamer caught in a nightmare he never saw coming. How does a night like any other turn into this? How does a community hold its breath while a killer melts into the shadows? Stick with me. Today we're peeling back the layers of this unsolved horror. Not just the facts, but the human ache behind them. We'll walk Devonta's final steps, stare into the void left by his killer, and chase the ghosts of an investigation that promised answers but delivered only silence. By the end you'll wonder, could this happen to anyone you know? And what if the truth is still out there waiting in the dark? Devonta wasn't the type to make headlines. Not until that night. Born and raised in Northwest DC, he grew up in the shadow of monuments that promised big dreams but delivered hard knocks. Picture him, tall, easy smile, the kind of guy who'd fix your flat tire without asking for a dime. By 29 he'd carved out a quiet life, working days as a warehouse supervisor, nights coaching youth basketball at the local rec center. Kids called him Coach D. He had 2 little ones at home, a boy and a girl, ages 5 and 7, who he'd scoop up for ice cream runs after practice. Life's too short not to laugh, he'd say. That was Devonta, full of promise, the glue holding his family together after his mom passed from cancer 2 years back. His sister Tasha still remembers their last call that afternoon. He was hyped about a pickup game with old friends from the old neighborhood. She told me in a voice that cracked like thin ice. Said he'd be home by midnight, joking about teaching those young bucks a lesson on the court. But Devonta wasn't from Southeast. He was just visiting, bridging worlds like he always did. Northwest to Southeast. A short drive but a world apart. Why cross that line that night? Was it just fate's cruel roll of the dice? Or something pulling him into the fire? Let's pause there. Think about it. In a city like DC, where blocks can flip from bougie brunch spots to boarded up stoops in a heartbeat, guys like Devonta walk that tightrope every day. Anacostia, Southeast's beating heart. It's resilient, raw. A place where block parties pulse with go-go beats and barbecues. But under it all, the tension simmers. Gun violence here isn't abstract, it's the neighbor's kid who doesn't come home. The vigil you attend on a Tuesday. Stats don't lie, 2025 was brutal, with homicides ticking up 15% from last year, most in pockets like this. U Street, it's an artery of activity, barber shops, corner stores, folks hustling to make ends meet. But nights like August 5, they turn arteries into veins pulsing with unspoken threat. Devonta pulled up around 10:45, linking with 2 friends. Jamal, a mechanic he'd known since high school, and Lena, Jamal's cousin, fresh off a shift at the hospital. They were outside a carry-out spot, laughing over cold beers, swapping stories about the old days. No drama, no beef, just life. Then pop, pop, pop. Chaos erupts. Jamal dives behind a car, takes one in the leg. Lena crumples, grazed in the arm. Devonta, he doesn't make it to cover, pronounced dead at the scene, just like that. The MPD rolls in minutes later, lights flashing like accusation. 2 survivors, conscious and breathing, rushed to Howard University Hospital. But Devonta, the good man, the coach, the dad, gone. Witnesses, a handful of shadows on stoops, too scared or too scarred to talk. One old-timer muttered about arguments echoing from the alley. But no faces, no why, senseless, right? Or was it? Hold that thought. Because what if Devonta wasn't random collateral? What if he stepped into someone else's wars? Fast forward a week. Vigils light up the block, candles flickering against chain link fences. Tasha clutching a photo of her brother mid-laugh, tears carving paths through the soot. The communities roar, united in grief, but fractured by fear. Anacostia's no stranger to this dance. Pay your respects, then lock your doors. But this shooting, it ripples. Rumors swirl like smoke from those candles. Was it gang crossfire? The Bloods and Crips remnants still flex here, territorial lines drawn in invisible ink. Or a drug beef gone hot. That carry-out spot, it's neutral ground but alleys behind it. Prime real estate for deals that sour fast. Devonta, though he wasn't in that world, clean record, no priors. The kind of guy who volunteered at church soup kitchens, so why him? Tasha leans in during our talk, eyes fierce. My brother didn't run with wolves, he was the shepherd for his kids. But dig deeper and cracks appear. Jamal the survivor. He nods when I ask about old debts. Nothing major, he says. Just a loan from months back, paid off. Lena, silent, eyes darting. And then there's the alley cam footage, grainy, useless. But it catches a figure in a hoodie slipping away like smoke. No face. No build that matches anyone. But the shot's precise. Not spray and pray panic, calculated. Like the shooter knew exactly who to drop first. Devonta, the outsider. Coincidence? Or a message misfired? We're not done unraveling this yet. Because every mystery has a monster at its core. And this one's name? Let's call him the Ghost for now. You ever wonder how evil blends? How it sips coffee at the same diner, nods hello on the sidewalk? In Anacostia, the Ghost was just another face in the crowd. We won't name him outright, not yet, not until the cuffs click. But picture Marcus Hale, 34, local handyman by day. Whisper in the wind by night. To neighbors he was solid, fixed leaky roofs for free. Coached Little League on off days. Quiet type, one block mom told police. Always with a tool belt and a smile. But peel back that mask and you see the fracture. Grew up in the same projects as Devonta's friends. But took a darker path after a stint upstate for assault. Out 6 months before the shooting. Motive, control. The kind that festers from rejection. Word is, Marcus had a beef with Jamal over that paid-off loan, saw it as disrespect. Psychology 101, guys like him don't forgive slights. They etch them in blood. His method, textbook predator. Step 1, scout. He'd linger at the carryout, ears tuned to chatter. Step 2, isolate. A text, a nudge into the open. Step 3, strike. Quick, clean, vanish. No casings left behind, smart or just practiced. MPD's ballistics tied the slugs to a ghost gun. Untraceable, pieced from online kits. But here's the twist that keeps you up. A single phone ping, 11:17 p.m. from a burner just 2 blocks away. Marcus's alibi. At home, watching the game. Wife backs it. Solid, right? Except that ping doesn't lie, and the tire tracks in the alley, fresh treads from a 22 Chevy pickup. Same model Marcus drove, traded in suspiciously fast after. Luck, or the universe whispering. Marcus slips the net, but the web tightens. Or does it? What if he's not the ghost? What if the real shadow laughs from afar? Cut to the war room at MPD's Major Crimes Unit. Fluorescent Hume, the only soundtrack to desperation. Lead detective, Lieutenant Elena Vasquez, 15 years on the force. Eyes like chipped flint from too many cold files. She stares at the board, photos of Devonta pinned like accusations. Timeline snaking like veins. This one's personal, she confides over coffee, voice low. The probe kicks off hot, canvass the block, 50 tips in 48 hours. Breakthrough 1, those survivors. Jamal IDs the hoodie figure vaguely. Built like my cousin's ex. Lena adds a tattoo glimpse, a serpent coiling up an arm, matches Marcus's ink, per a tip from an ex. Forensic dive. No DNA on the scene. Rain washed it clean. But that phone ping. Subpoenaed records show the burner bought cash. No prints. Dead end. Pressure mounts. Community marches. Tasha on every news channel, $25,000 reward, someone knows. Vasquez pushes tails Marcus for weeks. Watches him fix faucets while dodging shadows. Analogy time: it's like chasing smoke in a windstorm. Grab too hard, it slips. Too loose, it reforms. Pattern interrupt. Remember that alley cam, enhanced, it catches a glint. A silver chain dangling from the shooter's neck. Devonta's chain, stolen in the chaos, or planted. Open loop, Vasquez hits a wall. But one overlooked text from Devonta's phone changes the game. Sent at 11:10, trouble brewing, heading out. To who? We'll circle back, because investigations like this, they crack you open, reveal the rot in the system. Underfunded labs, witnesses, vanishing like mist. Could you do it? Stare at a dead man's smile and not break. It's the human cost that guts you. 2 months in, the heat fades. Tips dry up. Marcus, still free. Handyman gigs stacking like alibi. Vasquez transfers to another case. But not before a gut punch raid on his garage tires match. But no gun, no prints. Close, she mutters. But justice ain't a sprint. Tasha launches the GoFundMe. Help honor Devonta's memory. Pulling in thousands for the kid's future. Organized by Reggie Jones, Devonta's best friend. It's more than money. It's a scream into the void. Vigils turn to whispers. U Street heals over the scar, but the file, it sits in MPD's unsolved vault, next to 2025's ghosts. No arrest. No trial. No confession spilling twisted. Wise in a sterile room, just silence, thick as fog. The climax, it's not fireworks, it's the quiet defeat at Oppressor. Vasquez's voice steady but eyes hollow. We're not done, someone out there holds the key. But are they? The two survivors heal. Jamal walks with a limp. Lena switches, shifts to days. But the what-ifs fester. Was Marcus the ghost? Or a patsy, for deeper beef? That text from Devonta to an unknown number, now disconnected. Planted, or a plea ignored. The serpent tattoo, half the block has won. And the chain, turned up in a pawn shop. No questions asked. Let's pull it together. Quick light, from that shattering volley on U Street, to Devonta's vibrant life cut short. From whispers of a ghost, named Marcus, to Vasquez's dogged hunt hitting walls. This case exposes the fragility of trust in a city on edge. A good man gunned down in crossfire that might not be so random. A community scarred but standing. An investigation that teases truth, but clutches shadows. We've seen how violence weaves invisible webs. How one favor turns to fatal grudge. How cops chase phantoms in the machine, but questions linger like gunpowder haze. Was Devonta a target? Or just wrong place, wrong time? Does the ghost still prowl Anacostia? Or did he vanish for good? And why? After all the pings, tracks, tears, does justice slip away? In the end, stories like Devonta's don't wrap neat. They echo, reminding us evil doesn't roar. It whispers from the next porch over. Truth, it can hide in a text log or a forgotten chain, waiting for someone brave enough to speak. Devonta's kid, they'll grow up asking who, chasing dad's smile in old photos. And us, we carry the weight, hoping the next vigil isn't ours. If this left you chilled, heart heavy, don't let it fade. Hit like if Devonta's story hit home. Subscribe for the shadows we uncover next. Our upcoming dive, the vanishing of a DC diplomat's daughter. Clues buried in embassy walls. Bell on friends. Let's keep hunting the dark together. Fade to black.